Hello students, in the last class we discussed about the sperm structure and also spermatogenesis. Today in this class we can discuss about the important topic, another process of gametogenesis in case of female, that is the oogenesis. Oogenesis is a process of formation of ovum or a egg which occurs in a female. Okay. Ultimately, by the oogenesis, ovum or egg will produced as a female gamete. Okay. First, we already know the definition. Oogenesis is one of the type of gametogenesis. In this process, the formation of egg or a ovum in female occurs. Then, oogenesis process is discontinuous. Why it is called as discontinuous? We have to discuss, but remember one thing, oogenesis is different from spermatogenesis because it is discontinuous, but spermatogenesis is continuous process. Okay. Before going to start the actual process of oogenesis, we can discuss the hormonal control in case of female for the oogenesis. Okay. As in case of spermatogenesis, we discussed that in for the first spermatogenesis, two hormones are released by the pituitary gland. Those are LH and FSH. Okay. Here also same thing. Hypothalamus in case of females, hypothalamus, okay, which releases the one of the hormone called as the GnRH. It is same like in case of males. Here also same thing. GnRH, that is a gonadotropin releasing hormone. The gonadotropin releasing hormone stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary gland. Okay. Then that anterior pituitary gland releases the two follicular hormones. Those are LH and FSH. LH means that is the luteinizing hormone. FSH means that is a follicular stimulating hormone. Here LH we can discuss later words. First FSH, that is a follicular stimulating hormone which stimulates the follicular cells of ovule. Follicular cells of ovary. We already know the structure of ovary. In that, germinal epithelium cells act as a oogonia, and remaining cells which are present in the ovary cortex region, those are called as a follicular cells, okay, which surrounds the oogonium to form a primary follicle, secondary follicle and a tertiary follicle. Okay. Once again I will repeat the ovary structure, then you can understand easily. Just remember, FSH stimulates the follicular cell of ovary. Okay. Those follicular cells of ovary which surrounds the Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle later have the layer called as corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. Just remember the sequence. I will explain what is corpus luteum. Okay, that corpus luteum which secretes the hormone called as a progesterone. Remember this hormone called progesterone. Okay, then this is the actual sequence. Follicular cell, that is FS, stimulates the follicular cell of the ovary which is present in the Graafian follicle, which have the layer called as corpus luteum which secretes the hormone progesterone. Okay. Then the follicular cells of ovary also secretes another hormone. Wait, I will write here another hormone, that is a estrogen. Okay, progesterone and estrogen. Then the LH, this is the role of FSH. FSH have the capacity to secrete two hormone progesterone and estrogen. The progesterone is released by the hormone layer called a corpus luteum. The estrogen is directly released by the follicular cells of ovary. Okay. Then LH. LH is a luteinizing hormone which stimulate the Graafian follicle for ovulation. Ovulation is nothing but the release of ovary. LH stimulates the Graafian follicle for a ovulation. Then LH also helps corpus luteum to maintain its structure. Okay, just remember LH is necessary for ovulation of a Graafian follicle by the rupture of follicle to it releases the ovary. Okay. Then FSH is responsible for the formation or release of two hormones called estrogen and progesterone. This is the actual process of hormonal control. Remember these things: LH, FSH, estrogen and progesterone. Here the estrogen which is secreted by the follicular cells of ovary, it is responsible for secondary sexual characters. Like in case of females, it helps in the oogenesis, and by the secretion of estrogen the menstrual cycle starts, and also ovulation starts, and widening of a pelvic region in case of female, widening of pelvic region, then the space for a uterus for development of the newborn baby, the widening of pelvic region we can see. Next, enlargement of a mammary gland by the estrogen. These are called as a secondary sexual characters in case of female. Next, we can start the process of oogenesis. Oogenesis is discontinuous process but in case of females, because continuous process we can't see in case of females. Some portion of the oogenesis occurs before birth, after maturity period or puberty period. Okay, that's why we say this is a discontinuous process. While studying the stepwise oogenesis, you can understand why it is called as a discontinuous. Then oogenesis starts in the fetal stage, means when the baby is under development or in embryonic stage only the oogenesis starts. In simple thing, when the baby, the female baby which is developing inside the mother womb, that time only the oogenesis starts. Okay. The ovary have the two regions. You already know the structure of ovary. Once again I will explain the structure of ovary, okay, by using the rough diagram. Once again I will write the heading oogenesis, the structure of ovary. Wait guys, I will change the color, then only you can clearly see for you guys. Okay. Now I am going to draw the ovary diagram here. The ovary have the two parts. Those are the inner portion is called as medulla, which I am drawing with this. Okay, this portion is called as a medulla. The remaining portion which surrounds the medulla, that is called as a cortex. Okay, I will write here medulla and cortex. Both the medulla and cortex are commonly known as the stroma of the ovary. Okay. Then the medulla region, which having the blood vessels. The medulla region which have the blood vessels. Okay, these are blood vessels. Then in the cortex region, the germinal cells are present. Cortex having the granulosa cells and the germinal cells. Okay, the cortex which have the germinal cells, these are the germinal cells which are present in the cortex. Okay. Those cells are specifically known as oogonium. Oogonia or oogonium. Okay. The remaining cells which are present in the cortex, those are known as the follicular cells or the granulosa cells. Oogonium. Here the cortex cells or a oogonium which undergoes to the first step of oogenesis. As in case of spermatogenesis, we discussed the process of spermatogenesis by using the 3 different steps. Here also same thing. I am going to write the steps. First one, multiplication phase. Second one, growth phase. Third one, that is a maturation phase. Okay. Multiplication phase, growth phase and a maturation phase. Here the oogonium which is present in the cortex of the ovary, that undergoes to the multiplication phase. Here this oogonium undergoes to the multiplication phase. Multiplication by the mitotic division, not the meiotic. Mitotic division. By the mitotic division, it is known as equational division. By that, the number of the cell increases. Remember this thing, this process of oogenesis which occurs in the fetal stage when the baby is developing inside the mother womb. In a ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಬಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಬಿ ಡೆಲಿವರಿನೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆವಾಗ ತಾಯಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗಿದ್ದಾಗನೇ this step of oogenesis we can see. Okay. After the mitotic division, when oogonia undergoes to the repeated multiplication phase or the mitotic division which increases the number in the cortex, then the oogonia which undergoes to the mitotic division, that cell is called as a primary oocyte. Remember this one, primary oocyte. Okay. Then the primary oocyte undergoes to the second step of oogenesis, that is the that is the growth phase. Growth phase. Which increases its size. Here I will draw the spermatogenesis for understanding. This is the, remember, understand, this is the spermatogenesis. Okay. After undergoes to the growth phase, the primary oocyte, after oogonia undergoes to the mitotic division to form a primary oocyte. Okay. This is the structure of primary oocyte. When it undergoes to the growth phase, which increases its size. Okay. This one is the nucleus of that primary oocyte. Okay. Then most important thing, the oogonia which is present in the ovary, that is a germinal cell which is haploid. Okay, after multiplication, that is a mitotic division, the primary oocyte also diploid in condition. Okay, after the growth phase also we say that is the primary oocyte itself, primary oocyte. Then also it is 2n in condition. 2n means diploid in condition. Okay, the primary oocytes again starts its next step of a oogenesis. Okay, next step of oogenesis. Remember this thing, this process occurs in a fetal stage of a female baby inside the mother womb. Okay, next step, that is a maturation. Maturation means the primary oocyte undergoes to the meiosis. Meiosis occurs in two steps, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Firstly, meiosis 1. You already know the actual process of meiosis. Meiosis occurs in 4 steps called as a prophase, anaphase, metaphase and a telophase. But in case of meiosis first, in the prophase first, again 5 steps are there: leptotin, zygotin, pectitin, diplotin and diakinesis. You already studied this cell division in a first year. Okay, please recall all those things. In case of meiosis first, again 4 steps: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Okay, next, here concentrate here. The primary oocyte undergoes to the maturation by the meiosis cell division. When it undergoes to the meiosis first, but the primary oocyte arrested in the prophase first only due to deficiency of some factors. Okay, the primary oocyte when undergoes to the meiosis, but it arrested in a prophase first only. It doesn't completes its meiosis first or prophase first. Okay, it arrested. Primary oocyte arrested in prophase 1 diplotin stage. Okay, primary oocyte arrested in the prophase 1 diplotin stage. Okay, then after arresting or arrested of the primary oocyte, the primary oocyte gets surrounded by the granulosa cells or follicular cells to form a primary follicle. Here you can see, when the oogonia undergoes to the multiplication, it increases its size. Okay, then after increasing its size, it undergoes to the growth phase, which enlarge and undergoes to the meiosis cell division, but the meiosis does not completes its prophase 1. Okay, later the primary oocyte, when the oogonia undergoes to the mitosis, it is known as a primary oocyte. When primary oocyte undergoes to the meiosis, first it arrested, then it starts surrounded by the, wait, I will change the color of the pen. It gets surrounded by the granulosa cells, the cells which are present besides to the oogonia in the cortex. Okay, some cells are present in the cortex, those are called as the germinal cells or a oogonia. Those are get surrounded by the remaining cells which are present in the cortex, those are granulosa cells or the follicular cells. After that, we say this structure called like a primary follicle because it's surrounded by the follicular cells. Okay. Then after that, after the birth, I already told that all this process occurs in the fetal stage. Okay, when the baby, female baby developing in the mother wombs. Okay. After that, after the birth, okay, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುವವರೆಗೂ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಫಾಲಿಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಾಗ ಆ ಬೇಬಿಗೆ 9 months ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಲೇಟರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಬೇಬಿ ಡಿಲಿವರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ fetal stage, I will write here fetal stage to birth. Birth only oogonia to primary oocyte formation we can see. Okay. Then after the birth to puberty, after the birth to puberty there is no change in the primary oocyte formation. Okay, there is no change in the structure of primary oocyte, there is no improvement in the meiotic division. The structure is same as it is in case of the fetal stage, remains same even after the birth up to the puberty stage. Okay, but there is a lot of change in the follicular cell. Okay, as well as how the oogonia undergoes to the mitotic division, the follicular cells which are present in the cortex, they also undergoes to the mitotic division in the fetal stage and the birth stage. But at the puberty stage, the follicular cells start degenerating. Okay, in the fetal stage and birth stage, we can see millions of follicular cells. Millions of follicular cells, but after the puberty we can see only 60 to 80k, 60,000 to 80,000 follicular cell we can see, because in the puberty stage the follicular cell starts degenerating. Only 60,000 to 80,000 follicular cells remain in each ovary. Okay. Here we know that the oogonia, the primary oocyte gets surrounded by the primary follicle. Okay. Then that primary follicle again gets surrounded by the multi-layer of granulosa cells. Again I will draw, this is the primary oocyte, it gets surrounded by the multi-layer of granulosa cells. Multi-layers of granulosa cells. Then this structure is called as a secondary follicle. While explaining the structure of ovary, I told explain the structure of primary follicle, secondary follicle. Okay. Then after that, after surrounding the multi-layer of granulosa cell, again the theca structure will form. Some cells which attach, those cells are called as a theca cells. Okay, for a protection. Then remember, inside the granulosa cell, the primary oocyte structure is same as it is. Okay, it is unable to complete its meiosis first, that is prophase first. Okay, the secondary follicle transformed into tertiary follicle. Here only I will draw secondary follicle changes to form a tertiary follicle. Here same thing, just in the, for understanding I made the diagram bigger. This is the primary oocyte. It gets surrounded by the granulosa cells. But while developing the tertiary follicle, some changes occurs. Those are the fluid filled cavity is formed around the granulosa layer. This is a fluid filled cavity. The remaining part is surrounded by the granulosa layer, becomes multi-layer than the secondary follicle. The blue color which I am drawing now, those are called as a granulosa cells. Then later ones, those are surrounded by theca cells. Here, the fluid filled cavity which is present in the tertiary follicle, that is called as antrum. This is the primary oocyte. Okay. The layer of a granulosa cells, granulosa, then this is a theca part. Okay. This is the structure of, where I can write, here I will write, this is the structure of tertiary follicle. Okay. Then after formation of tertiary follicle, it matures to form a Graafian follicle. It matures to form a Graafian follicle. I will draw the Graafian follicle diagram here. It is very important diagram. By that only you can easily understand. Here, this is the primary oocyte which is arrested the prophase 1. Okay. The fluid filled cavity which is present surrounds the, means that is the antrum. Okay. Then the granulosa cells which are surrounded the primary oocyte. Some portion of the granulosa cells get attached with the primary oocyte, those are called as cumulus. Cumulus, and a layer of granulosa cells which surrounds the complete fluid filled cavity. Okay. Then the primary oocyte which is present here inside, it also develops some protective layers. Protective layer called as a zona pellucida. Okay. Then after the zona pellucida, again a single layer of granulosa cells which surrounds the primary oocyte. Okay. That is called as a corona radiata. Okay. Then the group of cells which are attached with the primary oocyte, those are cumulus. The layer which protects the primary oocyte, this is a primary oocyte, is called as a zona pellucida. Then a single layer of granulosa cells which surrounds the zona pellucida or called as a corona radiata. Okay. This is the structure of Graafian follicle. Okay. Then after 14 days of a menstrual cycle, after puberty, the menstrual cycle we can see in case of females, after 14th day of menstrual cycle, 14th day of menstrual cycle. Graafian follicle burst broken under the influence of LH. Under the influence of LH, the Graafian follicle burst, it releases the ovules. Sorry, it releases the ovary or ovum. That process is known as a ovulation. While discussing the hormonal control, we discussed that LH is responsible for the ovulation. Okay, Graafian follicle burst and releases the primary oocyte. Okay, here most important thing we have to know, the primary oocyte which is present inside the Graafian follicle before it arrested, its meiosis is arrested in the prophase 1. Okay, while the development of follicles in the cortex region, that primary oocyte undergoes to the that completes its meiosis. It completes its prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Here the primary oocyte divides. Meiosis 1 completes to form two haploid cells. That meiosis is unequal to form a larger secondary oocyte and a smaller primary polar body. Okay. For example, before going to the ovulation inside the Graafian follicle, this is the rough diagram for understanding. Okay, this is the cumulus, Here you can see the primary oocyte that undergoes to the meiosis to form a smaller polar body and larger secondary oocyte. Okay, a bigger one is present here, that is a secondary oocyte. The smaller one which is present above the secondary oocyte, that is called as a primary polar body. Later that primary polar body degenerates. Okay, after means the secondary oocyte formation which occurs inside the Graafian follicle only. Okay, after the ovulation the Graafian follicle releases the secondary oocyte. Okay, secondary oocyte is released by Graafian follicle. Remember this thing, the Graafian follicle which have the primary oocyte that undergoes to the that completes its meiosis first to form a secondary oocyte and a primary polar body. The primary polar body degenerate laterwards. The secondary oocyte is formed, it is released by the Graafian follicle by the process of ovulation. Okay, then when the sperm enters, after the ovulation, if the sperm enter, the secondary oocyte undergoes to the remaining step of meiosis, that is meiosis second. Okay, when the secondary oocyte undergoes to the meiosis second, it forms a larger ovum and a smaller polar body. Okay, remember here three polar bodies are formed by meiosis first one polar body, meiosis second two polar body. This is a functional ovum after the meiosis. Okay, when the sperm enters the meiosis 2 completes to give the functional ovum. Okay, if the sperm does not enter, the meiosis second also arrested. The meiosis second also arrested if the sperm does not enter, arrested in the metaphase 2. Until the sperm enters, the secondary oocyte remain in the secondary oocyte condition. It is unable to complete its meiosis second. Okay, if the sperm enters, then only it have the capacity to complete its meiosis and releases the functional ovum. This is all about the oogenesis. Here you can see in your NCERT book. I hope all of you getting these points. I use different mind maps for understanding the oogenesis. I hope I made it clear for you guys. Here in your NCERT book, this is a schematic representation of oogenesis. Try to get all these things. In the fetal life, in case of females, oogonia is present in the cortex of the ovary. It undergoes to the multiplication phase by the mitosis division to form a primary oocyte. Okay, multiplication phase. Okay, it increases the number. Then after the birth of a childhood to puberty, the first meiotic division completes prior to ovulation. The meiotic division is complete prior to ovulation, means inside the Graafian follicle the primary oocyte undergoes to the meiosis to form a secondary oocyte. Okay, it produces the primary polar body and secondary oocyte. Okay, in the adult reproductive life means if the female get married, then only sperm can, means when the sperm enters into the fallopian tube of the female, then the next part of the ovulation occurs. That is why the oogenesis is called as a discontinuous. Okay, when the sperm enters, the secondary oocyte completes its meiosis second to form a functional ovum and forms a secondary polar body. This is a schematic representation of oogenesis. In the next class, we can see the notes. Okay, read this topic 3 to 4 times, then only you can easily get. Just you remember the structure of secondary follicle, tertiary follicle and a Graafian follicle. Okay, then you have to remember the sequence where the meiosis of a primary oocyte arrested in the prophase 1, that is diplotin stage. Second time the second oocyte meiosis arrested in the metaphase second. Please remember this sequence, then only you can get the oogenesis. Okay, let us see the important points which are given in your NCERT book. Here already I tried to cover all these points. Once again we can revise here. The process of formation of mature female gamete is called as oogenesis, where I can start here. Okay, here the primary oocyte then gets surrounded by the layers of granulosa cells and then called as a primary follicle. Okay, this is all about the structure. Then a large number of these follicles degenerate during the phase from birth to puberty. From puberty to birth to puberty, the large number of follicles are degenerate. At the puberty, only 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles will left in each ovary. Okay, Then the primary follicle gets surrounded by more layers of granulosa cells of new thicas and called as a secondary follicle. Okay. Then the secondary follicle soon transferred into tertiary follicle, which is characterized by the fluid filled cavity called as antrum. The theca layers is organized to form a inner theca. The layer which is present inside inner theca, theca interna and also theca externa. Outside layer is called as a theca externa. Okay. Then it is important to draw your attention that it is at the stage that primary oocyte within the tertiary follicle grow in the size and completes its first meiotic division. Okay. Then complete its first meiotic division means where the primary oocyte already arrested in the prophase 1. Okay. Inside the Graafian follicle, it completes its meiotic division. It is an unequal division resulting in the formation of large haploid secondary oocyte and a tiny first primary polar body. Okay. Then the secondary oocyte retain bulk in the nutrient of rich cytoplasm of the primary oocyte. Then at the present we are not very certain about this. The tertiary follicle further changes into mature follicle or a Graafian follicle. You know the structure of Graafian follicle. In your NCERT book, the structure of Graafian follicle is not given. Please practice the diagram. Then the secondary oocyte forms a new membrane called as a Gevna pellucida, surrounded it, and Graafian follicle now rupture to release secondary oocyte or ovum from the ovary by the process called as ovulation. Okay. When the Graafian follicle releases the ovum under the secondary oocyte condition. Okay. In your NCERT book, the actual process is not clear. Please practice my mind maps, then only you can easily get the points.